Deus Vault, my fellow gamers. Here is something interesting. So I got this from England just today. So I've got a set of 10 bases. This is the normal gray plastic that Mantic uses for its infantry models. And then I got this. This is, I think this is not the command frame, but this is a frame for Revenant. It's the cool frame that comes with the skeletal dog / rat. Comes with a corpse coming out of the ground. This little skeleton guy who's very happy with his tombstone. Some bits. So this is the good frame. But it's white. It's not gray or like an off-white, a bone white. So since its origin in jolly old England, I'm thinking that this is probably one of the first sprues made for the undead. It has a date. It's got manticgames.com down there, and it has a date of 2010 up here. So fairly old, 12 years old. Pretty soon, almost 13 years old. But yeah, I mean it's legit. Now it feels like a harder material almost than the plastic. So, not the plastic, the hard plastic, the gray plastic, this stuff. I don't know, something about it. It feels harder, like it holds an edge harder, and it seems as if the details are crisper, almost deeper and whatnot. Maybe it's because it's the first injection molding of this sprue. I'm not sure. But what I'll do is I'll cut a cat off here just to see how it feels. Oh man, that feels like gray plastic. Yeah. That's exactly what it feels like. How odd. Mantic did a lot of things during its Kickstarters and whatnot. So they used different resins, even clear blue, like a translucent blue resin. I've shown you guys some of that with my Enforcer. Yeah, man, that feels just like the gray plastic. How interesting. So with this set, this gives me a horde of Revenants. Because this is a troop, just 10 guys, and the other troop that I have came from the Crazy Box, so I basically got that one for free. And it's nice I was able to find this one since they don't sell it normally in troop. Just the 10 guys, just the one frame. Usually they're going to get you for a regiment, and that's the prepackaged type thing. But very cool to find it in this. Very cool. It has the same feel as the gray plastic. So, and it looks like the details are ultra crisp on this one. I'm very, very happy with this. And I love those little rat dog things. I'm gonna keep all the mines separate because 3.5 is coming out, the new book. I say new book, it's version 3, but with everything in it, and it'll have some extra rules updates and whatnot. Basically, it's 3.5. So what they did with the throwing mastiffs for the dwarfs is they made them into their own unit. And in Dead Zone, with the bomb bot, that was just really a token in version 2. Or no, my fault, version 1.5. In official version 2, then they became actual playable models. And yeah, so, and I love that model. I think it's really cool. Just little tank treads and basically an optic. But I'm going to keep these guys separate just in case they make them their own unit. And then I will be ahead of the game because I have a fair number of these guys. So I can just slap them onto a base and I'm ready to go. Also, I wanted to talk about, I asked you guys about armies, like dwarves versus kingdoms of men or Basileia. And I started looking hard, man. There's a really nice big dwarf, mega army online now, and it comes with like 20 extra Brock Riders and stuff. And who doesn't like Brock Riders? Well, come to find out, most of that stuff is rustic. The Brock Riders, 100% rustic, and very limited sculpts. All the torsos are the same. The Brocks are basically the same as well. It all looks the same, and I'm not a big fan of that. And I was doing some research on the dwarves. I guess they were one of the first sculpts that Mantic did and put out an army for. And so it has very big flaws. The undead here, see how it's kind of clamshelled? You get the back ribs, and the other side you get the front. Either you get front ribs or armor plating. Slam those together. These fit together very well. The undead sculpts, actually, they hold up really well. I don't know what some of these forum guys are talking about. You go on King's War forums and stuff, and they're saying that the undead sculpts are getting dated. I'm sorry. They're far better, vastly superior to Games Workshop undead. And the poses are excellent. I don't think that they're dated at all. I mean, you can't really date a skeleton. If push comes to shove, the old 1996 skeletons that were bare bones, no armor or anything. Actually, you could take like a chest plate and put it on there, but no armor or anything. They are still viable as skeletons. They might be a little smaller than these here and GW's current skeletons, but they're still viable. They're skeletons. Boom, bro, rocket. People still play with those models today. So these are not dated by any means. Whoever's saying that is smoking the pipe, because these are pretty awesome sculpts, and I'm a skeleton fan. So yeah, I think that these are excellent sculpts. But the dwarves, the plastic dwarves that come in that kit, oh my goodness, they are terrible. You would put the front part in, the back part in, and then you'd have a giant gap, like where the back of the hair joins the back of the cape. A giant seam. So every single one of those models, I would have to green stuff. Every one. And you shouldn't have to do that. So, yeah. Rustic, yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. I love these vampire mounts and stuff, but not a fan of rustic. That's gonna have to have a hair dryer on it. You shouldn't have to do a bunch of repair on models that you spend quite a bit of money on. I know that these guys are cheaper than Games Workshop, but there should be some quality control. Get that QC rocking. So I've decided to hold off on dwarves. Not gonna do Basileia because all that stuff is rustic too. Actually, Basilean Knights, yeah, they're like this too. Generic horses. And I'm not going to do ogres. I'm not going to do ogres because that mess is 100% rustic, unless they've done something different. So, I'm holding out hope. They redid the Abyssal Dwarves, and the newer stuff, like how they have the Rift Forge Orcs and also the Halflings. Those guys they're like hard plastic and they're resin. I'm in love with that stuff. They've done a really good job with those two newer releases, and I think the salamanders are the same way. So I haven't done any research in it because I'd never really cared for lizardmen too much. Of course, I had the Dread Sorin from Forge World for my lizardman force, and yeah, I did. I had Lord Croak in all metal. I had a pimp lizardman force. I actually still have a model. He's the tablet bearer or whatever. He's like the prophet of Sotek, because he's got this cool base. It's got all the snakes, lizards on it. He's got this giant tablet that he's rocking. He's like sitting next to it. It's just this little skink dude, but I just like the model, so I kept it. And he's stinking hard to find. But regardless. So, yeah, I'm gonna wait. Hopefully they redo the dwarves. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't like the super squished look. My main problem with the dwarves is their beards. The beards are not long and luxurious. The beards are short, man. What do they do? Crop them? What the hell? So, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, if you're a race that lives forever and ever and ever and ever, like 80 years old is like a kid, your beard's gonna be pretty righteous. So, yeah. Anyway, I just think a dwarf should have a freaking sweet beard. So I'm holding out my hope. I might look at different makers or whatnot, but for now, I'm just going to focus down on these guys. I'm going to cool my jets on trying to collect a different army for now, and I'm just going to focus down on these guys. I went a little nuts because I was like, okay, I'm not going to buy this big box set, and I went a little nuts, and I bought some foot reaver infantry, 2 things of that, and some zombie trolls, and so I've got stuff coming in. So the reavers I'll do a little unboxing of, but I wanted you guys to see, boom, like bone colored revenants. I thought that was pretty cool. So very crisp details. I mean, you can see that bad boy. Oh man, how crisp, like the grass is really crisp and whatnot. It's very cool. But anyway, I've yacked on enough. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk at you later. Carry your laser.